Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Being a Musician. My name's Flint Blade, and this is going to be the first episode I've done without a guest. Um, you know, Mostly we have a guest musician each episode and we talk about them. So this time we're going to switch it up a little bit, and it's just going to be me talking to you, the listener, the watcher, the observer. Thanks for tuning in. So, I thought that I would just basically give myself a chance to basically spiel my heart out and just talk about what's up with me and my musical life. It's been a super blessed ride, and even just putting myself on camera like this, it it's a good reminder for myself just to realize what a blessed ride that it really is. um, it's almost Christmas, and there's lots of cheer in the air. Been seeing lots of friends and loved ones around at various gatherings, here in Florida, and so all that really warms my heart, and I love the holidays for that reason. You know, um, yeah, I guess just to be honest, I'm gonna get out the struggles, get that stuff out of the way, and so I don't know. It feels weird just like talking on the camera like this, but that's the whole point. So, it's to share the life of a musician for other people that might want to be interested. Um, I've had such an amazing year of 2021, you know, and living in Florida, of course, there's been like lots of events going on. Everything is open, and the weather is great now, so there's even more people just piling in, and I love that. And this past summer, I did multiple festivals that were very fulfilling experiences for me to be involved in. And that's part of just what I love about the musical career, is that the work itself is fulfilling to me, and I love to be able to find my path with gathering with other people in community events that are fulfilling in that way. But now, wow, I'm looking at my calendar ahead, and I'm looking at 2022 coming up, and looking a little looking a little nervous about that there's just not as many gigs booked currently in this moment as I would like to see in order to earn a really strong living on this. So yeah, this is one of those times when you just gotta trust, because I'm just doing my own booking for the most part. I don't have like a dedicated booking agent that works for me. I'm just representing myself, so I gotta be on my own game, being a business person and reaching out to people and following up with people. It never ends. So I guess part of that is that I've learned that I like to work with people that are easy to work with. So you know, uh, mostly that means that since I have to interact with booking people all the time, I just gravitate towards those people that are, like I said, they're easygoing, and they appreciate what I'm doing already, and so that's kind of like the light that guides me, is just where I see the positivity in the music. The other thing that guides me is just ideas. I'll have ideas just pop into my mind, like ideas for events and things like that. And so the inspiration, I know that I'm very very tapped in with my intuition and the muse, as it were. And so a lot of what guides me is just when I have a vision come to my mind of a type of event that might be a success for a certain venue or whatever. Um, Literally just visions, will come to me, and I can just see it playing out. and it just glows me up. And so whenever I start to see that glimmer in my eye, that's when I know that that's something that's worth pursuing. That same type of glimmer that I get when I think about the springs. I love going to the springs in Florida. Go up to the spring head where this beautiful blue clear water is just flowing right out of the earth. That just lights me up. And so I know that I'm on my right path when I think of other types of experiences that light me up like that. So that said, to anyone out there who is an endeavoring artist such as myself, and you're putting yourself out there to trust your music to keep you afloat, or your art, as it were. Kudos to you and keep it up. So because we all come in these times where it just seems a little more challenging, or maybe a little more scary when you just don't know really what's around the corner with your path. And I feel like what I'm realizing for myself is just that when I have less gigs, this is the time for me to plug in at home like this in the studio and just record, or even just play around, or just practice, because a lot of times, even obviously, it depending on who it's obvious to, spending time practicing is just as valuable as spending time recording or performing. You gotta spend some time just alone with your art as an artist, where it's just a relationship between you and your art. And you gotta dig in and feel the gratification of just the art itself. you know when life gives you a time to enjoy solitude, you gotta really cherish that solitude. It's always beautiful to have an audience, but when there's no physical audience in front of you today, that's when you can start to see your life in a broader way, and you can see your art in a broader way. Because when you are recording or practicing, you're working on a piece of art that is going to be for anyone who can ever hear it. A song, once it's recorded, can be heard by uh, people forever. You know, theoretically, um, there's no limit on the amount of people that can hear a song once it's recorded. So it's almost like when you're recording, your audience is potentially the entire world. You know, not that every song is necessarily going to be for every single person. You know, but I suppose these are some of the things that I'm thinking about today, and I do have lots of beautiful events coming up ahead in months to come. So that's another thing that I got to keep in mind, even if there's not as many gigs as I think I might need to pay the bills in this moment. The events that are coming up are very near and dear to me and meaningful, such as Florida Flow Fest coming up January 23rd. It's going to be a Sunday this year in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to be actually teaching hoops at Florida Flow Fest this year. The flow arts and the hoop dance and all of this is my second love, outside of music. And so this year I'm excited to be able to teach some hoops. And I'm also going to be playing some music at the after party for Florida Flow Fest, which is to be announced, but it's going to be the evening of Sunday, January 23rd. And, Florida Flow Fest is meaningful to me in so many reasons, because for one thing, it's in my hometown of Fort Lauderdale where I grew up. And beyond that, my dear friend Cassandra is the organizer, and the whole spirit of the gathering is just so beautiful and wholesome, and It's that good stuff that people need. It's the real stuff in life. So I'm excited to be back. Florida Flow Fest. Um, Beyond that, I guess my next idea for this podcast was to go into some of my gear. I want to show you guys some of my gear that I use in my rig. So down below, we've got my whole pedal board system. Got multiple pedals. We've got a mixer. We've got the steel pan, and of course, we have the Chapman stick. So before anything else, I'm gonna talk about the Chapman stick a little bit. For those that don't know, the Chapman stick is a 12-string guitar and bass all in one. It's a tapping instrument. It was designed by Emmett Chapman in California, 1969. It's made for tapping. And I'm going to tell you about the more technical side of things. So this is my mixer that I use on stage, and I'm using it here for this video. And this is where basically my instrument, my vocals, and all my effects go into. And this just lets me keep the balance correctly of the different volumes of the parts of my rig. Down here, this is the pedal board. That's probably going to be what's most interesting to everybody. Everybody always wants to know what I'm doing with my pedals on the Chapman stick. And there's really, for the amount of pedals that I have, it's pretty simple. So the Chapman stick is going through these two volume pedals right there. Got two volume pedals for both for the Chapman stick, and that's because the Chapman stick goes out in stereo with the bass channel going in one volume and the treble side going in the other. So I guess when it comes to the volume pedals, I use them mostly for the volume swell effect. So that's where, like, I'm going to go like this and kind of show you what's going on. To make a volume swell, I like to you just tap. You keep the volume down first and you tap. And then you just swell the volume in like that. How's that angle? Very nice, right? So I got two so that I can do it on both hands. I can do it with the treble or the bass. That's what I do with the volume pedals. Next up, I got this sweet little mini Crybaby wah pedal, and that's just for the treble. So let's show you how the wah pedal sounds like. This is for the treble. The wah pedal is totally essential. Everybody loves it if you're a guitarist. It kind of gives you that like bow chicka bow bow. Yeah, so that's what I do with the wah pedal. And that only goes on the treble side so that I can keep the bass line totally clean while I'm going womp womp. So next up, this right here is a delay pedal that I route through my mixer in such a way that I can put the instrument and the vocals on the delay. You might be, what's a delay? So a delay is just like a repeater. Hear that? As soon as I turn on the delay, it repeats. And so what I'm doing with this is just a volume just for the delay. So instead of like clicking the button to turn the delay on, I like to just fade it in. You can just have a little bit. I can have it all the way on. I can have just a little bit. That's why I use this volume pedal for the delay. Pretty cool. What else do I have going on? Got this green box right there. That is called the Line 6 DL4. And that is another delay pedal. So the DL4 I use for my vocals only, and I actually use it for more of a looper. So back before I got this other way more intense looper, I would just put my vocals in the DL4, and I would loop it like this: check 1 2, check it out, check it out, check it out, check it. So this thing has some cool functions, like you can speed it up. You can speed it up like this. 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 You can slow it down like this. You can slow it down like this. You can slow it down like this. You can slow it. You can have like a one shot like that. One shot like that. One shot like one shot. One shot. One shot like that. So that's pretty cool. Aside from that, this looper is very basic. So once you create one loop, you can't really do much in the way of like adding and subtracting. You can add to the loop, but you cannot never subtract. So everything builds up really quickly, and I would basically just use this for my beatbox only. Like I would just loop the beatbox and then play the stick live. That's how I would like to use the DL4. Until more recently, within the past year, I got this Head Rush looper board. And so this thing is a whole nother world of looping that I've been kind of avoiding for a long time, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how much loops I can do. I can have different tracks. I can loop my beatbox like that. I can have different layers of the instrument like that. I can have the bass line. So this thing has like way more options and functions than the looper that I was using before. And I've been going to town with it. I think the real thing that made me want to have a more fully functional looper is so that I could play the steel pan over the Chapman stick, because otherwise, if I'm playing the Chapman stick, I can't really play the steel pan at the same time. But I love playing the steel drums. So that's really what made me want to start looping the Chapman stick, just so that I can play the steel drums at the same time. Almost forgot to tell you guys one more cool thing about my pedal board. This expression pedal. So this guy is just an expression pedal that is controlling my green DL4 delay pedal. So that's the great thing. Even though I can use this as a looper pedal, like that, even while it's looping, like a looper pedal, 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 like a looper pedal. And what's going on here is that this pedal is controlling the delay time and the repeats at the same time. So what that means is that when it's all the way back on the bottom, the delay time is really short. It's a really short echo, and it doesn't repeat that long. But if you turn it up, the echo is longer, and it goes longer. It goes for a long time. A really long time. But when you move it, it creates those cool artifacts of sound when it's twisting the tempo back and forth. So there you go. That's one of my favorite parts of the pedal board, and because of that, I almost don't know if I will ever give up the DL4, even though I have a whole looper pedal over here. There's some days when I might just play a show only with the head rush, and because it's so versatile. But even when I do, I really just miss that That green delay with all its wacky sounds. Yeah. And some other looping artists have always inspired me. And in recent times, this guy Parangi, I think that was kind of like between checking out Parangi and Mike Love and their looping work. I think between the two of them, I was like, all right, this looping business is pretty cool. I think I can jump into this game. That's what made me want to do it more. So I could probably do like a more in-depth review of the Headrush looper board. But there is just a few things that I think it'd be cool if it was improved. For instance, just more customizability in the effects in the looper board would be great. I also get some hiss on the vocal channel sometimes that I don't know what to do with. And maybe just some of the settings in general. Like there's settings that I would like to be able to change more easily, like on the fly while I'm playing. So I think it would be cool if they updated their firmware to just give more functional control in the settings of the looper board. But otherwise, it's like pretty amazing just the way that my mind has been opened up recently from doing more looping stuff. And I guess on that note, I'm going to play a little more music for you guys. Riding the wave, I'm riding the wave of life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The wave, riding the wave, I'm riding the wave of life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wherever it takes me, wherever it goes, however it shakes me, however it flows, however it flows. Been down a lot of roads, been down a lot of roads. Does anybody know the right way to go? We got to chant down Babylon, yeah. Chant down Babylon every day. Chant down Babylon, that's what I say now. Chant down Babylon, hey. We got to chant down Babylon, that's what I say now. Chant down Babylon every day. Got to chant down Babylon in a song, 'cause the people in control been doing wrong. Got the people in control been doing wrong. We got to chant down Babylon all together now. Chant down Babylon, that's what I say. Chant down Babylon all together now. Chant down Babylon, that's what I say now. Chant down Babylon, yeah, yeah. Chant down Babylon, that's what I chant down Babylon. Chant down Babylon, that's what I chant down Babylon. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. The wave, I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the wave of life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The wave, I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the